Hello guys and gals, welcome to the latest video from Squad Morale Restored. My name is Daniel, and for this one we're going to be looking at the Codex Genestealer Cults for Warhammer 40,000. So this is the 8th edition Codex. I've just opened it slightly off screen because it was covered in this cling filmy stuff, which just sticks to me everywhere, and you just hear me sort of complaining and grumbling about this as I try to unpeel it. So the reason why it's covered in cling film is because of these little beauties. So we've got some what we call ambush tokens and a range checker. Because what Games Workshop have done with this edition is they are pushing the characteristics of how the Genestealer cults work. So we're probably all, I'm assuming, but I don't know for certain. So basically, I think we're all pretty much aware that how the Genestealer cults infiltrate a planet or a base or a moon or something is that they sort of send their patriarch down, or a Genestealer that will eventually mutate, not evolve, as what it says in the Codex, but will mutate into the patriarch, and this chap sort of seeds a lot of the population and gets his minions to do it as well, and then there's like an uprising where the hybrids and sort of third and fourth generation ones and all of their kind of cohorts will try to overthrow the government or just take over the planet, possibly lining it up for an invasion or a total consuming by the Tyranids, or just to give them a nice stronghold in Imperial space. So the ambush tokens are probably the best thing about this new release, apart from the new Outrider type models as well. They're pretty good too. So how it works is that when you set up your force, some of them can be kept off table to be used in ambushes. The idea being that maybe the Imperial Guard or the Space Marines or whomever turn up to find that their sort of population of, say, that their populations of their sort of common citizens have been ransacked, or they've gone quiet and lost communication with the Imperium or the Eldar, even what's going on, sort of thing. And when they turn up on the planet or moon or whatever, the Genestealers have laying in ambush, which is where they get the name of these things from. So it's very characterful, very fluffy. I really like it, and it also lends itself very well to scenarios and other missions where you've got like a small force descending on a planet to find out what's going on, and then you've got these hybrids popping up all over the place. So really nifty idea. Now, as we flick through this, I'm trying to avoid sort of copyright hits and stuff, so I'm not going to spend too much time on everything, just to go through basically give you an idea, a feel as it were, of what you can find inside. And I'm probably going to use this colour scheme for my female makers, which I have done a video for, or will be doing a video for. I'm getting so confused. Right, okay, so without further ado, let's press on in there. Okay, so as always, we've got some lovely, lovely art. It's pretty gross, but it's really well done. And it sort of covers the idea of the four-limbed emperor, where people sort of fall under the spell that the emperor they worship in the Imperium is sort of subsumed. I think it's subsumed is the word for it. Is slowly replaced by this idea of a four-limbed star emperor. Okay, so we've got a nice little introduction. Whoops, there it goes. Nice little introduction, bit of photography there. Again, nice full spread of artwork, which is really nice. This, of course, is up against one of my other favourite armies. Whoops, is the Adeptus Mechanicus, where the Genestealers are ripping apart the robots. It's a bit of a shame, really, because I like them. They're very sort of 50s Forbidden Planet kind of, Robbie the Robot kind of design. Yep. Okay. The Worshippers of the Xenos. So again, I wonder what this art's from as well. I'd love to know what this art's from. It looks like the Genestealers are fighting the Howling Griffins. And it looks like it's box art for something, but I don't know. I'm fairly sure it hasn't been released as a box game. I don't know. If anyone knows what that art was for or is for, I would love to know from in the comments below if you could. That'd be much appreciated. Okay. So then we've got the Genestealer Curse. Again, lovely artwork, explaining how. Let's move down a bit. Explaining how the whole process of sort of taking over of the population starts. Creation of a cult. This is really good as well. So it's telling you about how the patriarch first gets a foothold, first generation, second generation, and all the hybrids, and then what happens to them. And sometimes they spawn sort of special evolutionary traits, or go completely nuts and go like aberrant and then abominant. One thing this book does make really clear is how it's not just a small like uprising that you might think of, like maybe a handful or tens or hundreds of people, but it's like it can be into the millions. It could be entire like Necromunda hive type things that suddenly spring up and become, well, not spring up, but entire hives on a planet that can suddenly suddenly come out as being part of a gigantic Genestealer cult. So it can be like millions of these hybrids, not just a handful. Again, lovely artwork there. I think it's showing the Blood Angels having a bit of bother. The Devastation of Baal book was a pretty good read, actually. Although it did see a lot of my favourite chapter completely annihilated, and the successor chapters. Okay. So then we zoom into the various cults. So the Bladed Cog, which is very clever. I like how they've... Oops, out of focus. I like how they've... Hang on. What I really like is if this would stay in focus. There we go. So Bladed Cog, I like how they've taken the Genestealer thing and put it in around the AdMech. We've got Hive Cult and the Cult of Formed Emperor. Complete with sort of colour schemes. Well, that made me laugh as well, seeing this sort of tech priest who's been taken over. The design and standard. It's been sort of incorporated into the Genestealer. How's the Genestealer being incorporated into them? The Rusted Claw. It's a good one. Pauper Princes. Now, not heard of these ones, so interesting to find out a bit more about them. Twisted Helix. Of course, it's all about like DNA helix and going on about the genetics. Right. And infestations beyond number. So this is giving you an idea, a good idea of like the sort of fluffiness you can have for your own cult armies. I like this idea of the worm that devours itself. Symbol of the sons of Jormungandr. Jormungandr? I think so. The cult Hydrak. Okay. Very nice artwork. Very nice. I love a good map. Got some nice places. We've got old Armageddon there and Necromunda, of course. Talan. Yep. Hidden Districts. I'm going to speed through some of this. So there's a bit of the background, some artwork from one of the box game releases, which his name escapes me, but it was one with the AdMech and Genestealer Cults. So there we go. So Megases. I prefer Magi. It seems that Megases seems clunky. Even if they just said Megas and Patriarch, you don't really need to pluralize them. The Primus, the Icon Wards. So these are like standard bearers, but Icon Wards is the cult name for them. The Clamavus, okay, which sort of speaks the Imperial truth. Formed Emperor, Imperial truth. Okay, Augustus, Sanctus. unusual. We've got this like an assassin type character. Not too sure how they fit in fluff wise compared to sort of the underhanded nature of the cults. It seems a little bit too subtle. Maybe not sure. Interested in all your opinions on the various sort of new characters that have been introduced, like the Clamavuses, Locuses, Loci, Sanctuses, and Calamorphs. I like that one as well. I like that model as well. I think that may be one to pick up in the not too distant future. Now we've got the Nexoses, oh dear, and the Biophaguses, Biophagi. Pronunciations subject to change. And then we've got ones that are more familiar to most gamers: the Acolytes and the Hybrid Metamorphs, Neophytes, of course, and the Pure Strange Genestealers, which desperately need an update, and possibly also an update to this shape as well, because I think they can do better. This looks like the best the artist can do with the models on show, but I think we can go. I'm sure Games Workshop can do even better, and then get some even better artwork for them. Aberrants, again, these are some of the new ones. They're not as new as what's going to come next, I hope. The Atalan. Not quite as new as the Atalan Jackals, the Outrider Scouty type people who zoom around in front of like cities looking for these sort of scouts that go ahead of the existing conurbations and populations and look for new populations to infect. Okay, Ridgerunner, brilliant vehicle. Haven't tried it in a game yet, but I have bought one to make up, so I'll probably do a video of that shortly if I haven't already. Again, I'm still got a bit of cold and my brain just doesn't work. Okay. Right. I'm going to speed through some of these heavy metal pictures. So we then get explanation how to use the ambush counters and loads of data sheets. I mean, look at all these now. There used to be hardly any. There used to be like one or two, and then they've just gone absolutely crazy with extra new units, which is great because it does sort of fit the fluffiness of the cults, that they would have lots of variations and, you know, different personalities and jobs and things. Okay, now we'll finish off with some cult creeds and some nice stratagems. 3 pages worth of stratagems. Brood mind discipline. Okay, as I said, I don't want to go through everything in case I get copyright struck. So, in a nutshell, this is a great introduction to one of my favourite armies, and I love the idea of the ambush counters, so we're going to use them in a game, and I'm hoping to let you guys know how that went and what my opponent thought of it, and see if it's a good aim and angle for Games Workshop to do for future Codex releases. Think a bit outside the box and show how they can use the fluff and sort of exemplify it a bit. I'd love to hear from anyone who plays against these guys or plays with these guys, and whether they think that the new setup is working, and how it works for them or works against them, depending on which side you're on. So until next time, guys, you take care of yourselves and happy hobbying. Beware the four-armed emperor. Bye for now.